All
Hey
right, hey
girl,
girl,
hey.
hey. Welcome
What's
back
up?
to Let's Talk That Talk Unfiltered. This is episode 3. Before we start, I just want to go back to our last episode, and I remember you asking me like what was different that I do it like after my divorce, and I wanted to say that I went to a spiritual retreat. I forgot about that. Remember?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
so
remember in
yeah, I got
Arizona.
it. It was good. So just wanted to clear that up.
You like,
So
wait a second, I watched it back and I just remembered this. Not you
right,
starting
right.
off our episode like, wait,
All right,
let
so
some
let's
people
get
watch it
into
and
it.
figure it out.
All right, girl. So let's get into it. What is today's topic?
So today, well, it's May. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we're going to talk about some things pertaining to mental health, how we manage our mental health, things that affect our mental health, and just things of that nature. And before we dive deep into it, um, I think we should put up a link for people to call suicide hotline if they ever feel like there's no one that they could talk to or reach out to before making such a pivotal decision that changes the lives of so many people. I don't
Right.
know
So I'll
about
post that.
you, but I
Yeah.
have two friends that died via suicide. One is kind of still sketchy. I still don't believe that she did, but that's what was reported. Her family doesn't believe that she did, but that's what was reported. And who's to say? We don't
Hmm.
know when we're not in the dark spaces with our friends all the time. We might know that they're going through something or kind of hint at it or feel it, but we don't know unless someone says it.
Hmm.
So rest in peace to Shanine. She
Yeah.
passed by suicide, and also Teddy, he also passed by suicide. So if you're ever feeling like you don't have anyone to talk to, I guarantee that you have a friend that would listen and
Hmm.
rather you hear you complaining or hear you crying or,
Right. Right.
try to help you through it than to, you just not be here anymore and it affects so many people mentally.
Right. 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 So check the description box. I will post a link, and I think there's also a phone number too as well for, and suicide hotline, or you want to talk to somebody. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's so sad. I don't have anybody that passed away through suicide. Yeah, I don't have anybody. But
Have you
depression
have
is
you
a
ever
real
felt
thing.
like you've been depressed before, like, or in a depressed state?
Yeah, I think I became a little depressed when my dad died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was depressed for like 3 months. I was losing weight and I just couldn't focus. I was doing the things that I needed to do, like go to school and go to work, but like I would cry like nonstop. It was crazy. Like I'll cry going to work, I'll cry in the clean supply room at work, I'll cry like going to school. It was just like a mess to the point where, I'll tell you my dad came in my dream. He was like, "All right, enough is enough. Like, cut it out." So I
Like
was
I
just
could hear you
crying
crying from heaven. Like,
from
all
heaven,
right,
like,
girl.
chill out. You are disturbing my peace. So, yeah, I just can't imagine like being like that all the time. That it was really dark, and I feel like I couldn't talk to anybody, and just suffering in silence. But meanwhile, like my siblings, were also going through the same thing I was going through. My mom lost a husband. There was people I could have talked to, but I just didn't. So I'm kind of glad like my dad came and was just like, "Nah, let's nip this shit in the bud. Let's go. Like enough is enough." But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think a lot of people
yeah.
feel like that too. Like they don't even want to say anything because they don't want to be a burden to somebody else. Like, oh, I'm
Hmm.
depressed. Like, you always want to be like the strong friend or feel like,
Yeah.
oh, I got it together and stuff like that. But I definitely get it. Like when it comes to like just being in that dark space and then still doing the things, like still going to work,
Hmm.
still go to school, still showing up, but it's just that feeling of floating and just
Hmm.
existing, but not
Yeah.
really like feeling grounded and connected to like what's happening around you, but just there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Have you ever felt like you're depressed?
Yeah, I feel like the thing with Ricky kind of like rocked me into depression. But even before that, I feel like when I was a teenager, I used to go through little bouts of depression.
Hmm.
And I feel like I was like maybe 14 or 15, and I was battling depression because I wouldn't come out my room or I wouldn't,
Hmm.
just wouldn't be myself. And the first thing that happens when you tell your parent like, oh, or they notice, they take you to the
Hmm.
doctor, and what do? They shove a pill down your throat, or
Yeah.
tell, here's some Zoloft, or here's some this, or here's some that. And at first I was taking this shit like, okay, but then it was just like it like heightened my anxiety. So I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I just went from one extreme to the
To
next.
the next.
So then I was just like, all right, now I'm taking this pill every day, and I feel like if I don't take it or if I miss it, it makes me anxious that I don't
Hmm.
have it. So like honestly, like one day I couldn't come out the house. That's how bad the anxiety was. And I took that pill and I broke it in half. And then I would just take half a pill. And then at one point I was just like, I'm not taking this anymore because I feel like I'm a slave to it. Like like I have to take it in order to function. And it's
Hmm.
not really addressing the issue that I had at the time. So it's just like, what was the point of that? I feel like, especially in the mental health like world, they don't address the
The issue.
issue at core. Like, what is the problem? Like, what is making this person feel this way, or what in their mind is causing them to be triggered?
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
come to find out, all of that, I'm lying, I wasn't 14. I probably was like 16, 17. But all of that stems from having an ectopic pregnancy and not really
Mm.
addressing the loss of that or addressing the all of the stuff that happened around it, major
Hmm.
surgery, like being pregnant, losing a child, all of the things that you don't even like, you sweep under the rug because you're 16 and stuff like that is
Hmm.
not supposed to be happening anyway. So I was
Right.
just like, looking back on it, I'm like, that's why I was depressed, but I never addressed, no one ever addressed the problem. Then when it came up, it's like, here's a pill, you're
Shut up
taking the
and go
pill,
on
and
by
it's
your
not,
day.
yeah, it's not really fixing the problem. So the problem will continue to come back until you address it head on.
Hmm. Yeah. That's crazy. I
So,
remember visiting you in the hospital for that.
yeah.
I didn't like seeing you like that.
Yeah, I had my little near-death experience because I was just like so scared to tell my parents. I didn't
Hmm.
tell my parents. That's how they
Hmm.
found out because I damn near died. Like I,
Right,
and
right.
started internally bleeding, laying on the couch, floating in and out of consciousness. And I was just like, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Like you literally, if you've never had a near-death experience, I don't know if you have or if you haven't, but you see yourself outside of yourself and you're like, that's how you know that all of this is very spiritual. Like
Hmm.
we live in the physical world and experience things physically, but that moment let me know like I can see myself outside of myself. Like what
Hmm.
is this? And I didn't know what that was until years later.
Hmm. Mm. I didn't know about that either. Okay, girl.
Another topic for another day.
Yeah, let's have another day.
How do you feel like traveling has helped you like push the reset button emotionally?
I'm the travel guru, okay? Emotionally, it's very freeing and very liberating. I solo travel, so it's good. I advise everybody to do it at least once, but it's just I don't want to say an escape from reality, but it's just like an escape, a reset. I don't feel like I'm answering the question. It's I don't know, I don't know, it just feels really good. It
Well, let me
I
rephrase it. So, what do you feel like was your first trip that you went on that you felt like I needed to experience this or see this because emotionally I was in a place, and then me being here is helping to heal what I'm going through.
After my divorce, the first trip was Spain. We were supposed to go together. And I told him, like, you can keep your ticket, but I'm gonna go. So I went. I didn't have no itinerary because my plan was to just get there, let him pick whatever he wanted to do because it was his birthday trip, and we just go about it. So we were going 5 days, but I went 5 days and I just winged everything. And I'm kind of like a codependent person. So here I am by myself, always need somebody to do something and this and that and the third, and I'm in a strange place and just I got up and went, and it was like, oh my god, this is very liberating. Like I don't need anybody to do anything. I can literally pack my bag and do what I want to do. I did learn some tactics and stuff, like okay, not everywhere is safe. I almost got my phone stolen, but still, like, it just taught me like I don't need to depend on anybody. Like that codependent feeling is it's really real, and it's not really a good thing. Like why do you feel like you need somebody to move on in this life. You don't need nobody. You know you're good by yourself. You know, so it was very liberating, and I just like I always remember that feeling like, oh my God, like getting off the train station and just seeing everybody go about their day and like, does anybody know that I'm by myself? You know, like, oh my God, like I'm here in this big city by myself and everybody just, you know, it's Spain. Everybody, I'm in Madrid, everybody, you know, doing their own thing. And I'm just like,
Right. And they're
I
speaking a
literally
different language.
paused, speaking a different language. I paused in, like in the middle of like the train station, outside the train station. I'm just like, for 5 minutes, just looking at everybody like, going about their day, have their shopping bags and their suitcases, and get on the bus, off the bus. And I'm like, does anybody know that I'm by myself? And I'm like, oh my God, okay, let me go to my, like, it was just so different. Like, and I keep on traveling now, and it's just like, it's always something to learn. And Kenya is my first African country that I went to. I cried because I'm just like, wow, I'm in the motherland. Like, not everybody gets to go to the motherland. I never even been to Nigeria, but I've been to Kenya first. So it was just like, I don't know, emotionally it just resets everything.
Now that I didn't know, you know how like you just bring up things like we talking and you was like, I didn't know that. And then when you was saying like traveling and how you and Dee were supposed to go to Spain and that stemmed your solo ventures because now that you had the divorce, it was just like, well, I'm gonna go anyway, you know? So it's
Hmm.
just like just something happening and then it stems or creates a loop for
Yeah.
something else to happen. And I think a
Right.
lot of people get stuck in that, like, I'm not going by myself, or, you know,
Hmm.
people not wanting to leave the country alone, the fear of just traveling alone or being alone. Like, a lot of people are scared to do that. A lot of people are scared to, like, not have a travel companion in case something happens or whatever
Hmm.
the case may be. Because I hear people say that, like, in for like in-state trips, like, I mean,
Yeah.
in-country trips, like, um not international. So it's just like a lot of people feel that way. And I think you have to experience being alone for a little bit
Hmm.
in order to like step into yourself and say, you know what? I'm never really alone for real. You know, like you
Right.
can go somewhere and spark a conversation with somebody, or you can, you're not really alone. Like, and God forbid something did happen, like people are gonna help.
Right. Right. That is true. That is definitely true. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
yeah. So
mm.
now I know that that sparked the whole like I'm gonna just travel and go. Once you're
You didn't know
liberated from
that?
mm-mm.
Oh wow, yeah, girl, that was the first trip. I was nervous. My mom was nervous, but I was like, I'm not wasting my money. That's where it came from. I am not wasting my money. You know, I don't play about my little coins. Okay.
Yeah. But once you're liberated from something and you're like, I'm here, I'm doing it,
Hmm.
I don't need the next person to feel confident in myself.
Right.
I don't, a lot of people have codependency. I think that's,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say that's normal, but I think as you age and as you either lose people, whether they pass away or whether it's a breakup, divorce, or whatever the case may be, you start to learn how to like, what do I like again?
Hmm.
I don't have to ask the next person what do they want to do or,
Right.
you know, like
Right.
be
Right.
on a time schedule or none of that stuff because I'm in my own reality.
Hmm.
We came here alone, we're gonna leave
Leave
alone.
alone.
So you
Yep.
might as well just get used to it.
Right.
I'm in that phase now, like after like a fresh breakup or whatever, I'm just like, ugh, I'm here doing this by myself. Usually I would be
Hmm.
with this person doing this, and it's just like you just start to realize like, oh, but I like this. I like that I don't
Right.
have to accommodate or I don't have to
Hmm.
ask. Like, well, what do you want to do? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love companionship too, but something about like freshly being like broken up or divorced is like you have to relearn yourself because you put
Yes.
so much time and energy and effort into the next person.
Hmm.
And then you
It is
start to
true.
lose pieces of yourself because things that you wouldn't normally do or normally like,
Tolerate.
yeah, you just like, oh, wait a second, this is, I could do this.
Right, right, right. Definitely that I could do this.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So let's talk about how being like a professional or just like independent, like there's people that are like independent workers, they run their own business, or you are a working professional, and just how the mental load of that alone kind of weighs in. Like, how do you feel like you navigate working and self-care?
It was hard in the beginning, um, but then I just learned ways. Like traveling is my escape from like balance. That's how I balance it. Also like little things too. Like I do my face care. That's a form of self care. Going to the park, going to the gym, picking a recipe and doing it's a form of self care. So I've learned to balance. It's hard being that I work a lot. I work a lot. So to find that little time to focus on me, and then also focus on my relationship. Like to take away that time, it's hard, but I've learned to do it well now. Especially my skincare. Like I don't play about that. Like I do my skin all the time. Twice a day I do my skin. Even in the shower, like I would like start the shower up, I want the steam, I very intentional about my skin. That's my self care every day,
Hmm.
so traveling is also my skincare. I'm not skincare. The traveling is also my escape, just from reality. Like life is hard, man. Life is hard.
Hmm.
Working is hard. The hospital life is not easy. So I used to always bring work home, and then like just like enough is enough. Like work is
Hmm.
work,
Leave it
and
at the door.
you leave it at
Leave
the
it at
door.
the door.
Like,
Yeah.
ugh, I don't. Why do I have to bring it home? So it's hard
I
to.
hate that too. Like I feel like when you bring it home, if you're in a relationship and you bring your work home, it can like not ruin the relationship, but it could start to weigh on the relationship.
Yeah, it's
Because then
annoying.
it's, yeah, you start to be like even in my last relationship, like what brought the breakup to like a head, it was just like I guess he had a day at work and I had a day at work, and then it was just like I had already left it alone, and then it was just like he brought it, and it was just was like a eruption. Like,
Hmm.
why are you like you should have diffuse, whether you got to sit in the car for 10, 15
Hmm.
minutes, like, like you're home now. I feel like home is supposed to be a safe haven.
Safe
It's supposed to
place.
be a safe place. You leave it, you literally like leave it at the door. And it's just
Right.
like, you know, and then you got to know when to scale back from things and work too. Like, and especially like work environments. You know how many jobs I quit? Like, I probably done had like 30
Girl,
jobs.
I learned that from you. That is another thing too. I learned that from you. You would not let a job stress your ass out. I don't know what Alicia
Why?
do. Oh, she's quit. I'm quitting too. Shit. Like that's one thing Alicia do. Okay, she will leave a job in a heartbeat. She don't play.
I
She don't play with
too.
that shit. Okay,
No,
she will
because I
leave
feel
a
like you're
job
there like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12
40 hours
hours,
a
whatever
week.
your shift is, whatever your shift
Right.
is. And it's just like, if I'm gonna be here, like, I need to be okay with being here. Like, I need to be like, there needs to be like, like once it get to a point where you like, mm, whether it's with a coworker, whether it's with the manager, whatever, environment, traffic, whatever the case may be, if it starts to
Right.
get to a point where it's like affecting me mentally, I just leave. And I wish I had the same like MO when it came to like relationships. Because sometimes I feel like I'll
Right.
stick it out in relationships for too
But
long,
a
or else
job is like,
I need to have that mentality when it comes to like people too, like
Right.
now, but we try to give people grace. But when it comes to jobs, no, I'm like, no, even if I don't have something lined up, like
I'm telling you, Alicia will leave a job in a heartbeat. She ain't looking for another job while she's suffering. She is gone. Okay? Gone. How many pages is your resume?
my resume, you know what? I don't add jobs that I haven't been at for a little minute. If I haven't made it a year, I don't even add it because what's the point? They're gonna tell them people, and I'm not gonna get the next job. But if my resume is 2 pages long. It should be longer. I honestly don't add a lot of stuff. I only add
Okay.
things that I've been at for a while. And if I
Hmm.
was somewhere, I'd be like, oh, that was a temp. Like, oh,
Hmm.
that was a temp. I'll just wing it.
Got it.
Like, who
Got it.
cares? The
Got
job
it.
is the job. At the end of the day, like, it's a paycheck. So it's just like,
Yeah. Well,
I don't
thank you for
know.
teaching me that little thing because you will leave it there. That's one thing I learned from you. Not to
Yeah.
stay in no toxic place. Okay.
Mm. No, I was just thinking back at one particular job, and I like that job. So like for people that don't know, like I had went to school for mortuary science, and then when I finally got a job in like I worked at a funeral home before, but when I finally got a hospital job, like working in pathology and working in the morgue, I felt like it put life into perspective for me. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, like you just start to cherish things more or just more grateful and stuff like that because you see death every day. So for some
Right.
people that could be mentally tolling. And honestly, it wasn't a mentally tolling job for me until like I lost my spouse and then it just
Mhm.
started to affect me different. So I took some time away from that and my coworker, she had just had a baby. I had just lost a husband. So both major life changes, right?
Mhm.
So she also was in the military. So she would, if the military was like, oh, she got to be here for 3 or 4 weeks, guess what? I had to work both of our shifts.
Mm.
So when I came back off of like my like leave or whatever, she happened to be coming back too. And
Mhm.
she just had this weird energy. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I know like she was involved with the guy that worked at the hospital. And that's another thing. Like, dealing with people that you work with,
Girl, that's another topic.
you're
It's a
gonna
no no.
learn.
Don't shit where you. What's the saying? Don't shit
Don't
where you shit
don't
where you
eat where
sleep.
you
Eat where you
sleep.
sit. Yeah. Don't do it.
Something.
Shit.
We're gonna
Don't.
cover that on another
Yeah.
day.
Mm-mm.
Because
Don't do it.
that could take up a whole 15 by itself. But when she got back, I was like, I'm gonna take a weekend trip to Miami or whatever. How we say, like traveling when you feeling whatever type of way, you just want to change
Mhm.
the scenery. It was cold in New York. I just
Mhm.
wanted to go for the weekend. She tells my manager, because I had called out that Friday. And mind you, I've been covering Fridays for like a month because she was on her military and maternity and stuff like that. And she tells my manager, as my flight was coming back, I get a text from her like, "Oops, I spilled the beans and told Jason that, you called out to go to Miami."
Not oops, I spilled the beans.
Yeah.
There's no oops in that.
So I was already like, I don't know, let's just say when we got back to that job, I felt like I was gonna get out of character. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I really wanted to like drag this girl, like mop the floor with her. And I was just
Mhm.
like, I have to leave this job because
It's
now the
toxic. It's a
environment is
toxic environment.
hostile
Yeah.
and it's making
Mhm.
me angry. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit. And then Jason was like, no, 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 don't quit, don't quit. And I was like, no, because y'all two are chitty chatting and she's
Mhm.
feeding you information and now I don't want to be here. So,
Right. Right.
and then that was that.
That's it. Fuck it.
And people like, oh, you just gonna leave a good paying job like that? Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good, it was a great job, but it's just like, what good is a job if I'm not good?
Right. No.
Like
Mm-mm.
you will run yourself ragged, drop dead, catch a stroke, get sick, and them people gonna continue on. They got a position to fill. The
They
job will be
post in that
posted.
position tomorrow. Okay.
They're not waiting until you
They're
get
not
better. They're
waiting.
not.
They're not waiting.
Mm-mm.
Nope. I've seen it time and time again. They do not wait. Okay.
It's bad. It's
Nasty.
bad.
Nasty.
But professionally, you got to know when to scale back from work, when to
Hmm.
pivot careers, because all of that it can just become too much mentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get into people. What would you say when a friend or a colleague or even a family member, if they're going through something mentally, right? What's the difference between you supporting them and saving them?
What's the difference? Supporting and saving. I feel like it's almost the same thing, isn't it?
No, because I feel like you can't save people. Like we're nobody's savior.
I guess I feel like I categorize both of them at the same thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking back and was like, I feel like how do you support somebody and like without saving like I feel
How do
like
you
maybe that's
support
a
someone
complex.
without
Yeah, I think that's a complex on my end. Like I always feel like I have to
saving?
be Captain Save a hole. Yeah. Well, not a whole in this instance because it's something real serious,
I
but
know what you mean. I get what you're saying.
yeah, I feel like I always
Yeah.
gotta be that rock for somebody, and I think
Yeah.
that's the firstborn syndrome thing.
Yeah. Especially the
Yeah,
first daughter. Yeah.
yeah.
But then it's like
Uh,
you have to realize like you do not have the ability to save anybody. And
that I
then
do know.
whenever they get into the situation again or fall into the place again, like it's almost like are you 911? Like you have like, okay, I know who to call for this. And it
Hmm.
could become a pattern. So like I feel like supporting people looks a little different. It's just like, how can I assist instead of like, let me do this. Let me do this and you'll be all right if I do this. Instead of like, how can I support you like without like how can I support you in a way where you can save yourself?
I feel like people take advantage, and I let them take advantage because I feel bad, and oh, let me be here. I don't know. I don't know. I need to work on that.
Yeah, I think there's
Yeah,
a boundary.
yeah,
That probably that area you need to like create a healthy boundary. Like,
yeah.
because you could support could look like checking in. Support could look like sending information. Support can look like a lot of different ways without fully saving the person. Because you want to, instead of like carrying a person and like bringing them up to get to the
Hmm.
next level, you just want to lift one foot up so they could lift the other, if that makes sense.
I had one friend, but I let her go though. I dropped her. I was like, yeah, I can't take it. It's draining when you're trying to help somebody and support them, and then they're just not fucking listening. Like, god damn, what are we doing here?
But what was the breaking point? Like, what was the final moment where it was just like,
It just
okay, this
became
is
a
not.
reality check where it was just like, I invite her to certain things. I'm there for her for a lot of things, but then like when I want support, or I need support, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm not coming to this or event, or I'm coming and I don't come, or it's just like you just want to be a phone friend, and then I just had enough. New Year's, this past New Year, was it this New Year? No, the last New Year. I was just like, like, you just drop certain friends, and that was one of them. I was just like, you know what? Delete you off of all the socials. Then I forgot to delete her number. You know,